Good morning. It's turned out nice again. It's Wednesday the 12th of August 2020. And you're watching KopTalk.tv. Alright. Hey guys, how's it going? Alright, yeah, good. Yeah, we have book kettle on, mate. Fuck's sake. I've just done a KopTalk podcast episode, which has just gone live if you want to listen to that. If you don't, fuck you. Yeah, probably. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, TuneIn app, Spotify. Okay, any podcast app really, just search Liverpool FC KopTalk. I'll be doing the Dunk Knows Best podcast as well. Oh, is that my microphone over there? I bet you can't even hear me, can you? In fact, I need to bring my other microphone in here out of the studio. That's just reminded me. What was I going to talk to you about? Just a few thoughts really about the present situation regarding transfer matters. Chimikas, I think that's how you pronounce his name. You know, I'm like with names, unless it's Jack Daniels or John Smith, I ain't got a clue. The Greek boy, great signing, I think, guys. I think I spoke about this. I talked about this in another video, my previous video. So I'm delighted. The more and more I read about him and hear about him, the more and more impressive it sounds. And it doesn't sound like that patronising kind of, like sometimes we sign a player and the Liverpool Echo, for example, will tell you he's amazing and now, we battled everyone for his signature. We signed some fucking 10-year-old kid. It's like, oh yeah, he turned down Barcelona and Real Madrid to sign for Liverpool. No. The stuff I've been reading is kosher. It sounds very good. Sounds very good. Very hard working. Not a big I am yet. So let's hope he stays grounded with that regards. I don't think he's very versatile. I think he's just going to, we're going to see him in that position. But more or less a carbon copy of Andy Robertson and first choice as well. Some people say the other one, Jamal Lewis, is first choice. Some people say this kid was. My opinion, based on the person that supplied the information to us. If you're a KopTalk VIP member, you'll know who that is and why I believe it. They insist that Chimikas was our primary target for that position, but we were just keeping our options open with Jamal Lewis and making bids left, right, and centre or whatnot to just to cover all bases really. So yeah, very delighted with it, guys. Honestly, I really am. A few weeks ago, I was feeling a bit like ooh, and I'm still fairly upbeat and positive about things that might happen yet. Okay, so in the podcast today we were talking about the Watford winger Sarr, is it? I like to be specific when I say things. Like I sometimes I say like, oh, there's talks or there's negotiations, but that's not what I got told. I was told there is dialogue between Watford and Liverpool with regards to him, and that was. I think I posted that on the members' website a few days ago. I can't remember. I can't be asked to look, but definitely dialogue. But the suggestion I'm getting is that what could stop it from happening is, you know what I'm going to say, don't you? The obvious, the fee. Now, look, Liverpool yesterday, news came out yesterday that Liverpool had to receive £175 million in prize money from the Premier League. That's a record, right? But with skin, obviously. And we don't have to, apparently there's none of this COVID rebate shit included in that at the moment. So if they've got to pay anything back, that's going to be done over time. From what I understand, I'm not an expert on this guy. I'm just a fat. Did I just say just a fat? I was going to say a fat football fan. Fat football fan. I'm just an ordinary guy. I'm not a financial analyst or expert, but it sounds like if we'd have had to make the rebate, we would have lost 21 million. We'd have paid back 21 million now rather than spread out. So 21 million off 175. I mean, guys, would that have been the end of the world anyway? So I just can't. I'm not having it. There was no COVID-19 last summer, and we still didn't do anything. So I'm not falling for that bullshit. When I was in Boston, when Nesbitt took over the club, as they were called at the time, I made videos, and I remember the hidden video I did in with the driver and everything. Ruthless and manage expectations were the two terms that were assigned or attributed to FSG as they are now known. So whether you're pro FSG, anti FSG, or in the middle like me, where I'm just like, I really don't care. You know, I think they're good owners. We could have worse. I don't think they're the best. I put the success down to this man here. But, you know, I don't want to knock them. So I'm happy to praise them when praise is due. And I'm happy to criticise them when I think it's warranted. And I think that they do manage our expectations. So whichever side you're on, I just want you to remember manage expectations, because we went into this transfer window with our expectations fully managed, not to do anything because we're skin, apparently. And I just find it a bit patronising. I understand that we shouldn't go out and, you know, just spunk hundreds of millions of pounds at the wall, you know, because this is what people do when you come out. If you're a Liverpool fan that says, I'm a bit disappointed that we don't do a bit more in the market, for example, you'll be met with some absolute cocksucker that will say to you, so you want us to go and spend £200 million? No, we don't. Because I think that the addition of this defender from Olympiacos, Tsimikas, for 11.75 million is an incredible business. And the suggestion is that he's only on 50 grand a week. Now, that to me is transfer business. I want to see, you know, players brought in. So it doesn't mean that I want us to go out and spend 100 million, 200 million. You know, this is what I'm talking about. We've now got another player. We've got cover for that position. So this is the kind of activity that I want to see us do. Yes, we all want to sign the best players in the world, but we've seen that when Andy Robertson is probably the best left back in the world, and he costs next to nothing. So it doesn't mean by default that when you say you want to see recruitment or additions to the squad, that you therefore mean that you want them to go out and blow a fortune. No. So shut your fucking mouth. Right? That's not what we're saying. But I just think that, you know, I'm not falling for this fucking skin bullshit, you know, and the Liverpool Echo peddling it. So that fucking organisation now is complete shite. It used to be great back in the day, you know, and impartial as well. We know that they had a good relationship, so they can't go out and stick the knife in unnecessarily. But, you know, it's just clickbait heaven, that place now. And it's not, I don't think, it's not their fault. It's owned by some company called Reach PLC, is it? Fucking garbage. But anyway, they're like, you know, they're basically peddling so much stuff, you know, in support of, you know, the owners, they lost so much money because of the COVID. Just fuck off. Record Premier League money, record prize money, left, right and fucking centre. We're on course to have the best, a record shirt deal, you know, in terms of sales. I'm not having it. Fuck right off. You just because we're football fans, you think we're fucking idiots. We're not idiots. So don't say that. I'd rather you just came out and said, look, we're going to take it easy because we're not sure what's going to happen with the COVID, right? Which I think is a fair thing to say. I would be the same in business as well, even if I had a cafe or a football club. If your business is getting locked down and it's costing you money, you're losing revenue, which they are losing revenue when that happens, then you've got to budget accordingly. But there's every chance that we could have a further lockdown. I don't think that we couldn't, because there's so many knobheads walking around refusing to wear a mask. You know, because of me freedoms, you know. So it could happen again. Let's hope it doesn't, but I can understand why they're going, let's be careful, because rather than spend 50 million on Timo Werner, let's keep that just in case there's another lockdown. Fine. But what happened last year then? Anyway, so look, just fucking look, you're not mugging me off. I think that my advice to you guys at the moment, from what credible people are saying, people that you would listen to, 22 years I've done KopTalk, and in that time we've built up a good network of sources. I hate to call them sources, I prefer to call them friends. And Liverpool fans, and on our members' website, people work in various positions and good information. Not as much information as we used to have back in the day, and that is because the club are brilliant now at preventing stuff from leaking out unless they want it to leak out when it favours them. And what I mean by that is the club, because we're now owned by people from, you know, America, or, you know, that's from not from the city. You know, the senior people that work at the club are not like former Liverpool chief executives, maybe that like the women. No names here. I'm not going to mention any. But, you know, maybe they like to go out on a weekend in the city. Oh, look, there's such and such there. You know, hello, darling. Yeah, they're showing off a little bit. Maybe they talk to a guy. Maybe they don't mean to reveal things. They don't deliberately go out to leak information. But after a few brandies, you know, you had all the boot room, everything. So there's so many people knew what was going on at Liverpool Football Club with and without intention, because they were Liverpool people, and they mingle and people talk, whether it's intentional or not. And you could talk to someone with the utmost trust. I mean, I've had people say to me, "Don't you must not fucking say anything," and I will not go. And I've gone on the members' website and I've been like, I need them to know, because it makes it look fucking mint when it happens. Do you know what I mean? And they'll be able to go, "I knew," and it's like, how do I do it? So I don't tell them. So I'll change my profile picture or something to, people will go, "Oh, he's changed his. What's that mean?" Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I have to tell someone somewhere. So even though I've been sworn to things, I'll speak to someone, I'll go, "Look, I trust you with my life, but can you verify in 3 months' time when this comes off that I told you?" It's very, very difficult to keep your mouth shut when you know something. And I write about this in my infamous book that I'm working on at the moment. And a journalist that you guys know from the mainstream, from the LFC clique, works for one of the national newspapers in the UK. I remember him speaking to me years ago saying, there's so much stuff that I get from the press conferences or from that I know about, and I can't put it in the newspaper. So what I'm going to do is filter it through you. You can get it out. And we used to do that. Well, he also set me up, I think. I think he gave me something that was bullshit once as well. I'll talk about that in the infamous book when it ever comes out. So I've only been writing it about 300 years. Why was I talking about that? Oh yeah, leaks. So there isn't as much. Yeah. So yeah. All right. That's what I was saying. So like this, we've got some decent contributors on the website, and because of who certain people are, I trust them in my life. So I do believe that the Shimikas was the first choice. The who I want you to listen to is Sarah at Watford. I think you would already be doing that anyway. There is dialogue, or there was dialogue up to at least a week ago or something. I don't know what the current state of play is. Ben White, obviously, the Brighton defender, he was on loan at Leeds United. They've had 2 bids rejected for him. I don't know if you know that. I think it was 18.5 million and 20 million. Liverpool will be watching that, guys. They will be watching that. Yes. Where's my podcast? I just want to see the podcast title. I want to speak to you about Magna as well. So Liverpool's record 175 million payout, that was in today's podcast. Sarr, we've just mentioned, keep an eye on him. White, keep an eye on him. Zaha at Crystal Palace. There's been suggestions that we should maybe consider him. I'm all over the place with Jürgen. Oh yeah, you're there. Sorry, a little black bar came over and it covered his face and I was missing him. I'm all over the place with the lockdown, the suspension of football and everything. It threw me out, so I can't remember when last season even was, or what month are we? August. It's so very confusing. But I remember we considered making a move for Zaha, and I think it was last summer. But I was looking today, because there's a little bit of chat, a bit weak about him. I was looking today at his Wikipedia, his age, which I've already forgotten. I think he's 20. Is he 27? He has a birthday in November. He's 27 now. Is Zaha? So he turns 28 in November, and I think he's just out of that age group now that Klopp likes. I think Klopp likes him about 23, 24, where they can get a bit better. I think when you hit 27, 28, that's it, innit? They're probably at the peak. You know that they're probably not going to get any better. Not that there's anything wrong with him. I think he'd be a good signing, to be honest. But from what I remember, I think it was last summer, but it was, there was a suggestion that we were looking at him as an option. But why would it have been last summer? I can't remember. Were we looking for an alternative for someone? Don't know. I honestly can't remember, guys. But anyway, so I won't pay too much attention to Zaha. Now, with regards, keep these open for Sarr, White. Wouldn't bother with Zaha. Alcantara is going to be whether Wijnaldum jumped ship. Now, there is a suggestion, right? There was a meeting, what I'm told, on August 7th. And I think August 7th was last Friday, right? And at this meeting, it was determined that the club as Rafa would say, the club would, where possible, that was the two very, very specific words, where possible, would try and hold off on diving into the market. Now you might think, well, hang on a minute, Chubbs, we've just done a deal already like that. That's very true. He was an exception, because if you think about it, it was a very cheap price, and there was certainly value to be had there. We'd scouted him for several years, and was it Napoli was sniffing around him? I know there was a French club. Was it Nice? I can't remember. But clubs in France, Italy, even England were closing in. We're going to move for this boy. And I think Leicester City may have been one. So that is not the. Remember what I said? Where possible. So it didn't apply, because it wasn't a case of where, because it's not possible, because we need to do the business now, or someone else is going to get it. But in terms of other transfer targets, the kind of internal vibe that we're hearing is that Liverpool want to see how the market goes. They want to see how the market goes. They want to see how the spending goes in terms of, certain levels of category of players, if you like. So your Man Cities and your Chelseas, they're going to go in big and do whatever for certain players. But Liverpool still want to see how things pan out. And this is, I was told, because the transfer window closes later this time, so the season is already underway, will already have commenced. So don't be surprised if you see us maybe linked to more activity later in the window than you might do now. So there's I'm keeping it open that we might do something later, is the point I'm trying to say. That was the meeting that was on August 7th. And Alcantara, right, that's right. So at that meeting, and also around the same period, as we've discussed in the scouting department, which is a forum in the executive lounge on the members' website, there is a suggestion that the club now are starting to think that Wijnaldum may go. Now, for me, I need to charge my watch. That's what I need to do. For me, I thought that he might. I thought things were looking up. I thought it was a bit more positive that he would stay, maybe, because there was a suggestion he might go. Maybe he'll see out his contract. He won't just jump this summer or something. But there is a suggestion that he now may be considering leaving. And what I mean by that is he was obviously considering leaving before, because he hasn't signed his contract. But I think there's more of a chance of him leaving now than there was before. That's not me saying that. That's the vibe of what's been coming out of Anfield over the last week. And apparently that was because some kind of internal deadline or something has passed where the club wanted to know, and there hasn't been a positive announcement. Now that doesn't mean that it won't happen. Oh, Jürgen, I can't see your face. Oh, there you are. I hope that's recording in your face, mate. Something may have changed. Often when you make a video like this, within posting it, within an hour there'll be an announcement he signed a new contract as well. Who knows? I ain't got a fucking clue. I'm not no Twitter ITK, guys. I can only tell you what people that are worth listening to are saying. So the reason I mentioned Wijnaldum is because it was discussed at the August 7th meeting, and it sounds like Alcantara is someone that they would look at if he went now, okay. But I won't be surprised if we went for him later, because because of his contract situation. He's out of contract next year, is he? I think economically it would make it could be a good move. So I keep seeing a lot of people say, people that are kind of worth listening to, I wouldn't trust them immensely, but they're saying not at this moment, not at the present time, is not an option at the moment. And they're getting that fed to them from the club. Right, club. They're getting that fed to them from the club. So the club want them to know that. Not at the present time. So with a bit of if you got a bit of nous about you, what does that mean, not at the present time? Why is that being repeated? So the present time, not at the present time, suggests, well, because we've still got Wijnaldum at the moment, so we'll see. Not at the present time could suggest maybe January, when it's a bit more, when a deal can be had, a player out of contract, good stuff. So the local media in particular are playing it down. That's pay attention to it. I would keep an eye on it. I'd keep an eye on it. To be honest, I don't think we're being played with this one. I don't think this is the player, his agent, his club. trying to instigate more, attention to him. So I think that's all. Oh, did I talk to you about? Wrong one. Did I talk to you about Magno, Thales Magno? I don't think I did I? So let me. Oh, I wish I could get that. Oh, there it is. That's what I want. Well, first of all, look. I don't know how to pronounce his fucking name, so I don't know. You know this, right? His first name, right? It's got double L in it, so I want to pronounce that as Y, because that's what you do in Spanish, right? So pollo, which is chicken in Spanish, is P-O-double-L-O. Lalana, I always want to call him Layana. I can't help it. I've got a bit of the lingo in my head. So anyway, the next name, I want to call him Thales Magno, but I'm sure it's Thales. Who gives a fuck what he's called? You know what his name is. Well, no, we do give a fuck what he's called. What I mean is, look, I can't pronounce his fucking name, alright? Listen, Magno, that's what we're sticking with, from Vasco da Gama. Now listen, I was looking back into this today, and we discussed him on the KopTalk podcast and on the members' website back in February. Alright, February. And July. Okay, so he's come up a few times before. We know that there's an interest there. I think there's something in it. Right? I think there's something in it. Now, what do you mean by something in it? Because then people go, oh, we've bid for it. No, we haven't bid for it. I just think there's something in it. So, but I don't know as to what level there's something in it. I wouldn't be good in a newspaper, would I? Can you imagine the headline, there's something in it? At least it'd be more fucking honest. So with that one, I'm not sure what is it dialogue? Is it negotiations? Is it talks? No, there's something in it. There's some contact somewhere, and Liverpool sniffing around, without a doubt. And I wouldn't be surprised if a deal happened on that front. So again, my advice to you at the present time would be to listen out for the 18-year-old. Okay, he is a forward. He was part of the Brazil squad that won the Under-17 World Cup last year. A very versatile player. He's featured predominantly on the left for his club, but he offers depth across the front line, it says here. When he was 17, he made 15 league appearances for the Brazilian side's first team before an ankle injury sustained on international duty kept him out of contention. He's now back at full fitness and has drawn attention from AC Milan, Barcelona, Chelsea, PSG, Real Madrid, but Liverpool are believed to be Magno's preferred destination. And there is they were after 48 million euros for him, but there's a suggestion they could go down to 20 million euros because of the COVID situation, that financially they need to cash in, do his club. What did I want to tell you about him? There was something I wanted to tell you about him. There was reports that came out from Brazil yesterday, I think it was, that said Liverpool had this massive advantage in terms of securing him. There was talk of the super agent Giuliano Bertolucci. Could be names. He's involved. But the Brazilian reports were saying there's a real good chance that Liverpool have got the upper hand here. But nobody was sure what the upper hand meant. But a lot of the reports I've looked are saying that he favours Liverpool, so maybe that is the upper hand. So I hate it when I can't say to you, too much, but this is why, these Twitter ITKs are full of shit, because they know everything, don't they, guys? So be wary of people that know everything. I don't know any fucking thing. I just here like that, I'm just winging it, you know what I'm saying? But the people that, participate on KopTalk, they're the people that know things. So I don't even know what this video is about, to be honest. I'm gonna make myself a cup of tea because my cup's empty. Let me cup. Yeah. I want a cup of Yorkshire tea biscuit brew. That's what I want right now. And then I'm going to record my Dunk Knows Best podcast. And then I'm going live on here all day. I've got some business to attend to at 11:30 UK time. I've got to take my mum's cat to the vets. It's not very well. It's an old cat. My mum died, as you know, 8 years ago. Terrible cat. Oh, don't set me off. And it's like the last thing connected to my mum because her 2 dogs died. So the black cat, every day I see the black cat, I think of my mum, you know, it's my mum's cat, and it's not very well. So I've got to take her to the vets at 11:30 UK time today, which will no doubt cost me thousands of fucking pounds. So support me on this channel, please. Click join. There we go. Click join. Click join. If you're on an iPad or an iPhone, you have to do it via your browser. I do believe it doesn't work on the app or whatever on them devices. Click join, and if you've won the lottery, send me tens of thousands of pounds, please. All the links in the video description below. You can buy me a vodka and Diet Coke for the weekend if you want. I won't mind going out on Saturdays. Anyone going to buy me a vodka and Diet Coke? In fact, no, don't bother. Buy me a fucking bottle. So I'm prepared, look. Yes, I'm prepared. I'm going to go and deal with that. Alright, guys, I think that's it. I think that's it. I think that's what... Basically, the idea of the video today was to just try and give you a little, like pointers on what I would listen out for, what I am listening out for. If you've got someone else that you think that we should listen out for, drop it in the comment section. Always check the comment section, guys. Some really switched on people on here, honestly. Don't worry about any trolls like that. We get fucking rid of them straight away. Security's all over it. But we do have some very intelligent people watch my videos, obviously. They do come up with some good stuff. And sometimes I forget things. And it goes without saying, you know, Liverpool will... no doubt spring something on us at some point. We know that several people will be under consideration for each position that we're looking at, like centre-backs, for example, wingers, for example. Tsimikas, it came from nowhere, really, didn't, even though we've heard of him before. You know, it moved very fast. And this is the good thing about Michael Edwards. He doesn't fuck around. He doesn't want to dick around. You know, it was said... our regular contributor that I continually mention, the best one that we've got on the members website. What did he say? Have I got a mark on here? What was I saying? Oh, he thought that the vibe was, Edwards believed that we would get Jamal Lewis. And that they would, you know, we offered 10 million and then 12 million, but the suggestion was he thought we would get him. Edwards thought that. You know, Norwich were giving it large, giving it, no, we're not moving. But he was genuinely of the opinion that Norwich would, at some point, deal. But it would be protracted. In other words, like, we'll have to sit around for fucking ages to try and make this happen. And while we do that, someone's going to pick up the Greek boy. And then we've got no plan B. And that you can see now why Edwards did what he did, if you think about it. So even though he thought we'd get Jamal Lewis, if he wanted him, you know, it sounds like the Greek boy was first choice anyway. He was basically going like, do you know what, fuck around. And if you're going to say now, aren't you, they say, well, why did he go for Jamal Lewis then if he wanted different? Well, because initially, the first bid that went into Olympiacos, they turned down. And they wanted more money. So when they do that, even if you know you're willing to pay a bit more, you don't fucking tell them, do you? You go, oh, it doesn't matter, we're off to Norwich. So it's all played out, isn't it? It's all played out for that reason, guys. So I think Michael Edwards is probably one of the most underrated contributors to our success at Liverpool Football Club. Guys, it was only years ago that I used to have the tripod out here ranting and fucking raving. You know this. Look how things have changed. So we can go on about the owners, but oh, brilliant owners, yeah. This isn't having a dig at the owners. We talk about the owners having good owners, which they are good owners. We can talk about the manager, who is an excellent manager. We can talk about the players. We've got some excellent players, some of the best players in the world we've got at Liverpool now. We take this for granted. A few years ago, this daft cunt was running around Liverpool, Stuart fucking Downing. Do you know what I'm saying? And him, Andy fucking Carroll. These are here for a piss take, by the way. And him, fucking Charlie Adams, still waiting for that ball to drop down from orbit. You know, so, and don't get me wrong, there's Carragher's there and Stevie G, don't get me wrong, who's that? That's fucking Downing as well. But do you know what I'm saying, guys? We take it for granted, we've now got these outstanding, fantastic players, do you know what I mean? But let's not forget, the people in the other role, yes, we know throughout the club, whether you're a tea lady or whatever, you've all got a role to play in making it work. But Michael Edwards, our fucking transfer sales, great. I just wish the owners would just fucking show a bit of, like, intention. Do you know what I mean by that? Timo Werner would have been the intention for me. That's all. I'm all right. I'm still fucking hurting about that one. let's hope the cunt flops at Chelsea. Right, guys, I'm off. Let me know if you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you like the video. If you thumbs it down, you just give me an erection anyway, because that means that I've upset someone and the fucking fat cunt. You know, I like that, all right? My stalker, I've got a stalker watches all my videos, live streams, everything. Guys, honestly, it's like being back in 2005 again when I had them fuckers stalking everything I did. Hey, but it gives me, every video gets 1 thumbs down at least, so it's always him. I've got Intel. I've got tracking software on his computer. Yeah, give me a thumbs up, please. Come and see me live streams during the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm on this YouTube channel, so if you sat around doing out, just go wonder if Chubbs is on, and I probably am. You might see an empty chair in a couple of hours, though, because obviously I've got to go and to the vet. And if you enjoy my content and you're in a position to do so, please consider supporting me by clicking join on the channel, right? And then you get a nice fancy green name, nice little ball next to your name in the comments. It makes you far more important than everybody else. You get to see the other videos that are not visible to other people, and we get private chats. We do all sorts. It's really, really good crack, and we've got some brilliant people that support me. And all of you that are watching this video that are members of this YouTube channel, you know I love you. You know you mean the world to me, and I'm so glad that you drop into the live chats as well. Even if you're busy and you're one of my members from this channel, pop in every now and then if you can. Just say, I'm all right, Duncan, I'm still alive, pal, I'm all right. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes I wonder where you are. Do you know what I mean? It's always nice to see a green name in the channel. A blue name if you're a moderator like Tammy and Jack Richardson. Yeah. Right, I'm waffling. I'm off ski. I'll catch up with you later, guys. There is a podcast, KopTalk podcast, out today. Dunk Knows Best podcast will be out today. I'm not really sure there's anything else that you need to know. No, I think that's it. All right, have a good one, guys. Take care. All right.